So you have a bunch of people that are like in a pool of salt right now. Like they're salty as hell because they underestimated you. They overlooked you. They dismissed you. They wrote you off as someone that would not grow beyond where they were. When these people were in your life, you were not the most mature version of yourself. You have gone through a lot of stuff. Like you were a late bloomer. So you learn things later on after certain people. You also had been severely abused throughout your life. So abuse was all you knew. And you were not loved, you were not nurtured, you were not guided. You just were out here figuring life out on your own. And a lot of things that you were doing is because you didn't know any better. And you didn't have people guiding you and teaching you. So your maturity level was not up to par because you didn't have people helping you to mature. You had to just mature on your own. You had a very rough background. You had a very rough childhood. You came from a family that honestly didn't give a fuck about you enough to guide you, to nurture you, to love on you. You lacked love. You lacked nurture. You lacked guidance. And it's like your glass was half full. And people would look at you and see like, why isn't your glass full? Why is your glass only half full? And they looked at you and blamed you for it instead of looking at your caregivers, at your parents, and thinking they were supposed to fill up that cup. It isn't your fault. Another thing is that some of you that this message is for, you are neurodivergent. And a lot of things you just didn't know any better about. And that's what caused you to have a lack of wisdom, a lack of knowledge, a lack of just insight on what to do. These people didn't think that you were ever going to grow beyond where you were. They thought that you were going to stay immature, stay unawakened, asleep. They thought that you were going to stay this person that is not the most educated, or not the most wise, not the most powerful. They didn't think that you were ever going to have more experience. They didn't think that you were ever going to evolve into a greater version of yourself. They completely wrote you off and just thought that you were a lost cause, that you were nobody, that you were nothing. But you know that saying, God will take a nobody, turn him into somebody in front of everybody without asking anybody. And that's exactly what God did for you. God intended these people to look at you like you were a nobody. Because once God was through with you, then everybody was going to know that that nobody was actually a somebody, and they've been somebody this entire time. And if you thought that they was a nobody then, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Don't go up here and try to look at them as somebody now because says the Lord says that they are a somebody. Nah. You thought they was a nobody, then continue to think that they are nobody. That's how you thought. Keep that same energy. Because now that you see that they are somebody, and now you see that they are somebody, you having respect for them is not genuine. It's obligatory. It's you wanting to put on the facade because you think that you gonna get a seat at their table. Now you want to acknowledge they are somebody because you want to have a seat at their table, but that table that I have prepared before you is in the presence of their enemies, and you are their enemy because you thought that they were a nobody. If you really like this person and really cared for them, you would have seen them as somebody. But you saw them as a nobody. And now that God has reintroduced you to the world, to your community, to people, to your peers. And you are highly respected now. You are highly appreciated, highly valued now. Those very people that wanted to invalidate you and discredit you are seeing you shine. Some of these people didn't even want you to outshine them, and now you are fully outshining them. You are outshining them so much, and it's not even a competition, but you are shining so much and so brightly that your light cannot be dimmed, your light cannot be put out, and no matter what, your light is going to shine. They wanted so desperately for you to not outshine them that now you have this infinite light that shines, that never turns off. And now people will forever see you shine your light. They didn't want you to outshine them. They didn't want you to shine your light. Now your light is forever shining. The shining. These people are feeling very salty. I know I took my other earring out because it was hitting my AirPod and I was going to keep clinking, whatever. Check the other one out, it looks weird. Anyway, these people, they are so shocked to see who you have become, because they didn't think that you could ever become this version. They didn't think that you could become stronger, wiser, more powerful, more mature, more grown, more assertive, to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself. They had no idea you had that fire within you. And now you are blazing that fire, setting the world on fire with your light. And now, these people are in a pool of salt because they're like, they tried to discredit you. They tried to invalidate you. They tried to, like, somebody may have even said, like, that you were chosen one. You could be a chosen one. You have no idea. People wanted to invalidate you and say, no, they ain't chosen. It ain't no way they could be chosen. Nah. Maybe them over there, but this one, no, not this one. But the thing is, God hides his chosen ones in plain sight. In plain sight. And the ones that you may think are the true chosen ones are not even the chosen ones. They're just highly faithful. But the true chosen ones are the ones that you least expect to be chosen. You were the person that people least expected to be chosen, but you have always been chosen. Now these people that didn't want to believe in you now see that you are someone worth believing in. And these people, they dogged you out so much to a point of no return. They looked down on you so much to a point of no return. They talked about you so much. I'm sorry, I keep spitting. They talked about you so much to a point of no return. To a point now where it's like all of the disrespect that they gave you, it's like, how can you come back from all of that you done said to them when they are sitting here in front of you being the total opposite of what you thought they were going to be? Because at this point, they would actually have to swallow their pride and humble themselves and be like, you know what? I was wrong for not believing in you. I was wrong for doubting you. I was wrong for thinking this of you. I was wrong for talking shit about you. They're not going to admit that they were wrong. They're too prideful for that. Their ego is too fragile for that. But the thing is, I'm feeling like they're feeling very convicted in their spirit about what they have done. They probably are so full of pride that even through their conviction, they still won't come forward and apologize or acknowledge their wrongs. They still won't do that. And they won't take accountability for the role that they played in the destruction of you all's friendship or relationship. They won't. However, they now see that despite how much they tried to talk shit about you, despite how much they tried to overlook you and dismiss you and write you off, you still became somebody strong and powerful and worth respecting. And now they have to see you shine regardless of if they wanted to see you shine or not. They now have to witness it. And now they're feeling salty as hell because they never should have underestimated you.